What's packing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I have a brand new video for y'all today. I am actually debuting a brand new segment or show or whatever you want to call it. It's called the Pedestals of Power. Or as you can see on the little side right there, I'm calling it Power Pedestals Unpacked. Unpacked is one of my anything that says unpacked on it is like me breaking down and giving analysis and opinion. I do a couple of different things on my channel. I have this kind of analysis stuff. I'm putting all of that stuff under the unpacked title, and then I have reaction videos, and then I also do live streaming. So anything that says unpacked, that's like analysis, that's breaking down. So this is Pedestals of Power Unpacked Week 14 edition. But before we go any further, I just want to say, please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this, more of my videos, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and always, man, comment. I love to read comments and interact with y'all through the comments. Okay, so most YouTubers or content creators who do sports or even just media outlets, they always do like a power ranking every single week. And I've noticed that I haven't ever put one out. So I said, let me go ahead and do my power ranking, but I'm going to do it a little bit different, add a little bit different flair to it for y'all because I like being different. So I got these pedestals right here, and I'm going to start from 10 to 1, and I'm going to just give you a little thought on why I chose that team and, as I reveal the list, and we're gonna see who I have in the number 1 slot. So coming in at number 10, okay, on the Pedestals of Power, I have the Indianapolis Colts. This team, they have a aging quarterback in Phillip Rivers, who a lot of people probably would say belongs in the Hall of Fame. Me, not so much. But they don't run the ball super well, but they have, I feel like, good running backs. The offensive line is pretty good. I think they've been banged up. They played the Packers really well. We saw how great this defense can be, even though in the first half, the Packers kind of shredded them. Second half, they were able to clamp down and things got, a little bogged down for the Packers. And we all know how the game ended. But, I mean, we took them to the wire. And at the time, this was the number 1 scoring defense in the National Football League, and we put up 30 on them. So I feel pretty confident that the Packers are actually a really good team. But I also think that this is a good team. They are a playoff team, but I'm not really sure how good. That's why I put them at 10 because they just haven't looked as, I guess, sharp defensively as we all thought they would. At number 9, I have the Tampa Bay Bucks. Look, man, I know they haven't won as many games as people thought, and everybody was predicting them to be like the favorite coming in, but they have a lot of moving pieces. They just added Antonio Brown. That threw off the chemistry. Brady's learning a brand new system. We ain't have no off-season workouts and nothing like that. So I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt. Brady is the GOAT right now. He's got 6 rings. He has the most wins, the most touchdowns, the most yards, the most everything. Shit, he's just the GOAT. So I'm gonna give the GOAT the benefit of the doubt. And I think this defense still, even though they've looked bad in some games or not as good as they are on paper, quote unquote, but they have a lot of weapons, man. They have a lot of pieces on defense. So I feel like this happens throughout the season. Good teams, Super Bowl teams that win the Super Bowl, they lose games that they shouldn't, and they takes them a while sometimes to just gel and get on track. All right. The next team is the Tennessee Titans. And I actually really like Tannehill, man. I really like Tannehill. Of course, I love Derrick Henry. I feel like everybody loves Derrick Henry. But I really like Tannehill as a quarterback. He's like the new and improved game manager, but with like better features and better options and like a couple of cheat codes. Because I think this dude, he's big. He's mobile. He can actually like run with his legs and pick up first down. He's dynamic that way. He like in the goal line, he runs in a lot of touchdowns. I have him on my fantasy team. As a matter of fact, They were down by like 20-something points last week to the Bills. The Bills have a really good defense, and they were able to come back and almost win, like kind of got it into, like close enough range to make it competitive. They have some good weapons in A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. And, of course, they have, like I said, Derrick Henry, and they're well coached. And, I think they are a solid team. The Rams at number 7, they have, again, a really good defense. They have Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in the league. They're really well coached, and I think they have a lot of weapons. I haven't watched a bunch of games for them, but what I have seen, it just seems like they can spread the ball out. And, yeah, they struggle like everybody else has really much this year, except for, 2 or 3 teams. But I don't really have a lot to say about them because I haven't watched, but I just kind of been seeing and reading things about this team, and they're really good defensively. So I always kind of put a premium on that. The Browns are coming in at number 6. The freaking Cinderella stories of the year. I have to say, they're 9-3. That's the same record as the Packers. This team can run the ball. They actually do it just as good as anybody in the league. At number 2, they rank second in rushing yards per game. Kareem Hunt and Chubb are spectacular. Chubb is so underrated, I think. Baker Mayfield had one of his best games of his career last week. Stefanski seems like he's working out. I didn't think he would because, we all saw his offense kind of get embarrassed in the game in the championship in the playoffs last year against the Niners. But it seems like whatever he's doing down there is working out, and they have a real test coming up against the Ravens. If they can beat the Ravens, I feel like everyone will be like, okay, you guys are legit, and they'll probably be able to say they're legit in their own head as well. Moving on to the very next team on the list, we're cracking the top 5 now, is the Buffalo Bills. I know the Bills just kind of got took to the wire last week with the Tennessee Titans, but I really like this team. They have weapons. They have Stephon Diggs, one of the best in the game. They can run the ball. They have a good defense, and Josh Allen is just an absolute beast. He makes mistakes. He's still young. He's still learning, but he's got the arm strength. He's got the legs. He's got the size. And this team is just tough, man. So I think they are one of the top 5 teams in the league. Number 4, I got Green Bay, my Packers. I wanted to put them higher, but I still need to see more from this defense. I need to see them do it against better teams, not just Philadelphia and Chicago, even though they look really good and they dominated those teams like you should back-to-back weeks. But I need to see you do this. Carolina is a tough team, okay? The Lions are offensively really good, okay? And the Tennessee Titans, as I just said, have a ton of weapons on the field when they take the field offensively. So if Green Bay can show me that they can, win those 3 games and not, kind of shit the bed defensively, offensively, I feel like this team is really starting to hit its stride. So I put them at 4. Cracking my top 3, I have Kansas City in the 3rd slot. Okay, a lot of people have them number 1 or number 2, but I still think, as good as they are on paper, that this team is vulnerable, and they've won some games that honestly they should have lost or could have lost. One game in particular I can think of is the Chargers, when Justin Herbert was told he was going to start for the first time ever 5 minutes before the game. Okay, the Chiefs, I think they know how good they are, and maybe sometimes it's to their own detriment, and they just kind of cruise, or they just feel like they can flip the switch whenever they want. Defensively, though, they have some studs on the defensive side of the ball, and I think even though I think they're vulnerable, they also are just up and down the roster. They are star-studded. So I give them the 2nd seed. They've only lost 1 game. I mean, I put them in 3rd spot. They've only lost 1 game, but I just think the teams that I have ahead of them are better defensively, and I don't know. I think they match up well with the Chiefs. So that's why I put the Chiefs at 3. And my 2nd team is Pittsburgh. Even though a lot of people think that Pittsburgh lost to Washington and that, really, and people were already giving them shit for having a weak schedule and everything like that. But Mike Tomlin is honestly probably a top 3 coach in this league. He's never had a losing season, which is mind blowing to me. And when they're healthy, they have probably the best pass rush in the NFL. One of the best. They definitely, I think, lead the league in sacks, or at least they did for a large majority of the year before they started, getting injured. And Ben Roethlisberger is a veteran Hall of Fame quarterback who, can push the ball downfield. They can run the ball. When they're not dropping the ball like they did a ton of times against Washington, they can be really explosive. The number one team, obviously, as you can probably tell, is the New Orleans Saints. They've won 9 games in a row, okay? They have one of the best defenses in the league with stars all up and down the field. They also have the best running back in the league, one of the best receivers in the league, and they're still winning in spite of not having their future Hall of Fame quarterback, Drew Brees. So I just give my hat tip of the cheese to the Saints. Okay, they're the best team right now, but I feel like they're only one game ahead of the Packers in the NFC North standing, in the NFC standings. They've got the 1 seed, Packers have the 2 seed, but if they slip up, Packers can get the 1 seed as long as we just win out. Even if we end up with the same records, the Packers will get the 1 seed because they have the tiebreaker. I have a couple other teams, that I think are interesting. They think they're top 10 worthy, but they're interesting, and I'm going to be paying attention to them down the stretch. Is Washington, the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Giants, Seahawks, Vikings, and the Raiders. Look, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. I've been grinding all night, but I fucking love this team, and I love what I'm doing. So I'm really happy, man. And I thank you to everybody who stayed to the end to watch all the way through. This has been the Pedestals of Power. Week 14, the very first time I did my ranking, but every week from now on, I will be putting out a new ranking every Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, okay, it's your boy Godchild, first of his name. This has been What's Packin' Sports Show, Pedestals of Power Unpacked. If you want to, support me, please give me a thumbs up. Again, subscribe, notification bells, and please comment because I love reading the comments. All right. Until next time, as we like to say in Green Bay, go Pack, go.